Welcome to the Best of Seven podcast, part of the Man Cave Sports Network. Each show, we discuss the 7 best topics in sports and pop culture. I'm your host, Mike Jones. Before we get to the top stories, be sure to follow the show page on YouTube, Best of 7 Podcast TV. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Today, got 2 special guests on the show. I got Big Will and Mikey I, both from Jersey. Jersey boys in the house. What's good, fellas?
What's going on?
What up?
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on today. As you know, we go way back like snapbacks. Had a lot of good times, a lot of fun times. And these are literally 2 guys that, in terms of sports, they're always on it. They know who's competing. They know what some of these bets are. So, hey, Final Four just wrapped up. We got the national championship, Carolina and Kansas. Let's talk about the Final Four games, man. Let's start with the Kansas Villanova game. Is that what y'all expected? Did y'all expect to see that?
It was what I expected and what I had hoped. being a Kansas backer from day one, like we were saying before, I think that the way Kansas plays, they can play fast, they can play slow, whereas Villanova just sort of can only play slow, and obviously not having more didn't help Villanova. So kind of gave Kansas a little bit more of an advantage from the depth perspective. And then I thought the biggest thing was that Villanova just would not be able to handle Kansas inside with McCormick and even Lightfoot,
Pop, what you think?
I felt like Nova should have gave him a better chance, but yeah, Kansas was just way too much, man. They came out the gates, they were just smoking hot, man. And like they're shooting maybe like 60% from the field, dude. Almost like 50% from 3. Like once you play a team like that that's just hot and they're rolling, man, you're not gonna stop them, dude. And plus, with Villanova having that guy, the second leading scorer out and more, I felt like they were just gonna fight an uphill battle, man, and it showed.
Yeah, man, Kansas was red hot. They came out swinging like.
It was gonna get ugly real quick.
Yeah. Villanova, they fought back pretty well. They closed the gap down a little bit right before the half. They went on like a 10-2 run, but Kansas just busted wide open. Busted cheeks, man. I was like, I don't know. I did expect a better game from Villanova, but like I said, Kansas just had the size. They had the size advantage, and they really exposed that in the second half.
Yeah, big time.
Any of you guys tracking what the spreads look like for the game and for the game coming up?
Yeah. Right now, Carolina. You use FanDuel, DraftKings, whichever you use. Right now, on FanDuel it was 4.5. It might have went down to 4. And DraftKings right now, as I'm looking at it, it's 4. So Kansas is -4. So it's kind of fluctuated. I think with Baycott now being cleared to play, I think there were a lot of people who were nervous about, what was going to happen. I mean, I think some people still are, but I took a little bit of a fall. But it's 4 right now. It's been holding pretty steady at that. I think you'll get a little movement maybe tomorrow, depending upon if the Carolina people sort of think that this is their push. It might drop to 3.5. Or if everybody feels like Baycott's just not going to be able to handle the Kansas inside game, it might jump back up to 4.5 or 5. It's 4 on everything I just saw now. Just checked on FanDuel. So it's 4 both ways.
Yo, Will, what you think about that? You like that?
Yeah, number? I was definitely looking the same. Yeah, they got Kansas favorite by 4. I feel like that's pretty fair, pretty even. Duke was actually favored the same, but we've seen what happened to that. But Kansas definitely should be favored. They're number 1, of course. And yeah, man, I think the size is gonna play a big factor in this one, man. I don't know if North Carolina is gonna be able to stay hot and shoot and keep up with these guys. Let's see if Kansas even stays hot, man. Because man, you shoot 60% from the field, bro. I mean, that's almost like half of your shots, more than half of your shots is going in. Everything that you take and shoot. So if they can bring that into tomorrow's game, And maybe North Carolina can come in, with their scoring. It should be a nice high scoring game, man.
It's gonna be a lot of offense in this one, right? So I'm definitely expecting the score to be upwards of probably like 80s.
Yeah, man.
And I think sometimes with both teams being so aggressive, you could get a lot of fouls, which then, both teams are going to get to the line a lot. They have pretty good shooters. So, you get a lot of points, especially in the late second half,
Right.
where you could get a chance to pile into the low 80s, mid 80s. I kind of think it's going to be like that kind of game. I bet a bunch of prop bets for tomorrow. I'll give you you tell me when you want me to run through all the bets. I'll give you what I got. I really stacked it up. Parlays on DraftKings, straight bets on FanDuel and DraftKings. So I'll give you player overs.
Let's hear it.
All right. So obviously, I have a Kansas future bet that I placed actually July 6th. Believe it or not.
Right.
So I put them to win it all July 6th. I got 16-1 on them back then. So I'm obviously riding that out. I need Kansas to win the game. But I definitely think North Carolina, if Baycott can stay in the game and is, I know he's not going to be 100%. We know that. But if he can sort of be, 75, 80%, that's enough to give them at least a presence inside to keep it close. And Love's been lights out. Davis, lights out. These guys are – I think they can cover the 4.5, so I did take UNC plus 4.5. Sort of, I guess you could say, like a middle bet. And then I jumped on the over last night of 151.5 when it came out. Will said it was like, I think it's 153 now, 152.5, 152 right now. Mm-hmm. I just see on FanDuel it's 152. I think that's a really good play. Will, you think the same thing?
Yeah, I like the over as well, man. I'll try to get it early because I know right before a game or even like an hour or two, it might jump up to 53, maybe 53.5. So if I get at 52, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's 50. Yeah, on FanDuel right now it's 52, and on DraftKings, I don't know what everybody uses, and on DraftKings right now it's 52 as well. So it moved. It was like 53 earlier today, so it dropped the point.
Okay.
Good time to jump on.
Yeah, I like this high scoring thing. I think mid 80s, anywhere like 83, 79 type game, like something crazy, something like that, something up in the 80s. High scoring game, almost kind of like what you see with the North Carolina and Duke game on Saturday as well. They started out a little slow because they was missing a lot of shots, but then that second half they both kicked up. I think they both put up like over 40 points in the second half. So I think it's gonna be something like that as well with these two coming in tomorrow.
I think as far as player overs go, I love player overs. Just to, I guess, full disclaimer. So my NCAA tournament, I have a bunch of guys that, I grew up with or whatever, and these guys they just want to play. They just want to bet the games, and they want to know what's going on, and they jump in. And last tournament was, I guess you could say, sort of where I got my credibility because I was a massive, massive fan of Oral Roberts beating Ohio State. Nice. I bet a money line. I think they were 17-point dogs. I bet a money line. I actually bet them to go to the Sweet 16, which they did. In the future bets and everything, 50-1 on them. They go to the Sweet 16. So sort of that's sort of my back. Or I guess you could say I put myself on the map in terms of college basketball handicapping. But this is tomorrow player totals. I jumped on Caleb Love over 15.5 points. He's gonna he's easy, bro. Right now he's 16.5 on FanDuel. I got it there this morning, and he's 17.5 on DraftKings. So FanDuel's the better option right now. And I got David McCormick. I had David McCormick last night over 9.5 points. So I took him again over 11.5 tomorrow. More so because I think that Kansas is going to try to get Baycott into foul trouble. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to test, Baycott and see what he can do. How's the ankle going to hold up against a pretty strong dude, McCormick? Right. So I took those two pretty prominently over 15.5, over 11.5. DraftKings allows you to parlay player props in the same game parlay aspect. And so I have a bunch of even Love 14 plus, 16 plus, McCormick 10 plus, 12 plus. And then I have guys like Abaji 14 plus. DeJuan Harris is actually 4+ points. I think that's a pretty good bet. And Jalen Wilson 10 plus. So I parlayed a bunch of those in every which way you could imagine. But the straight bets, the big straight bets I have are Caleb Love and David McCormick. I don't know, any thoughts on those?
If you don't mind me saying, I think those both are steals because they're both gonna key factors in this game, especially if we're expecting like a high scoring game that we are. Like these guys definitely gonna have to put in some work. So I feel like they definitely gonna go way over their scoring, if not by 4 or 5 points, maybe a little more. I mean, if you look at the last game, they put up 25 for McCormick, and Love, I believe, put up 28, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, you're talking about guys putting up some real good high points, and they only getting about half of what they, going in over half of what they put up in the previous game. So I mean, that's some good bets right there. I like those.
And you can play around with them too.
Real quick, so Caesars, is it Caesars right now? Sportsbook promo, 1,100 risk-free bet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. That I've never seen that. I've never seen a number that high. Typically, it's like 50. I want to say the most I might have seen maybe it's like a 200, but $1,100 risk-free bet from Caesars Sportsbook. Like they're really cashing in on people betting on this game.
I've been eyeing that. I haven't used it, but it's there. And the catch obviously is if you lose, you have 7 days to use the free bet. Mm-hmm. So for me, with the national championship being the end of college basketball, it's a quick turnaround. If you do make that play, for anybody who might be thinking about it, if you do make that play and you do lose, you're going to have to pivot to baseball or something real fast. Otherwise, you're going to lose the promo bet.
Hey, if you bet the Lakers not making the playoffs, you got a real good shot there.
That's true. Very true. And I forgot about the NBA.
Just bet against the Lakers, man. You got a good chance, bro. They losing to everybody, man.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, man. All right. So Kansas pretty much had the game wrapped up pretty early. Villanova, great effort, but they just couldn't make the comeback. That second game though, man, Duke, North Carolina, bruh, that game was insane.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
It was something like 24 or 25 lead changes or something like that.
Yeah, when we saw Duke went up, I think it was like 41-34. It's like, oh boy, here we go. And then Carolina just came right back. It was really a lot of fun. It was perfect. I mean, it really was kind of what you wanted to see from the last Duke and with Krzyzewski and Carolina game ever.
Yeah, it definitely lived up to his hype, man. I mean, even if you watch these dudes play in the season, when, like I said, I watched the North Carolina when they played into Duke and North Carolina beat them in Duke, with Coach K's last home game, and that thing was, was great. And this one lived right up to the same hype, coming down to like the last couple of minutes, man. Free throws, man, that's what killed them. They could have tied the game up, maybe even went up, and dude missed both those free throws and came down, shot a 3, and it just that was it, bro.
One thing I was, and a couple guys I was on a text chat with, we were wondering, Hubert Davis had 3 timeouts left late in that game. And when Baycott got hurt, I thought he was going to, try to obviously maybe burn one and try to give a little more time. But he sort of, Puff Johnson came in and did a pretty good job of, holding things down until Baycott got back. But I was a little surprised Davis didn't burn one of the timeouts to sort of, I guess you could say, buy time,
right,
if you will. Carolina's tough. They're a tough team. They're playing good at the right time, obviously.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they started.
If they stay hot, man, they can get consistent. like I said, they go in these little sprouts where they go in those droughts, little 2-3 minute droughts where they're just missing and nothing's going in for them, man. And they just, hoisting up threes, quick threes, or, they get in the post and they just miss like them easy little layups or jump hooks. They can kind of stay away from that and like maybe score consistently, especially against Kansas, man. I think they'll be in it, man.
And you got 4 guys on Carolina that can shoot the three. All right, you got Love, you got Davis, Brady Manick can shoot him, and Leaky Black. He can shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
at Leaky.
We're sneaky shooters, man, but they can get hot. They can get hot one of these halves, man, and just like tear it up, like kind of like what Kansas did against Nova, man. When they were like they couldn't miss, and they couldn't miss at all, almost. I think one dude was like 10 for 10 from like the field. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He hit up, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Carolina, they was 10 for 26 from 3-point. That's 30%. But Duke had an awful night from the 3-point line. They was 5 for 22.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
It's sort of like the Duke that sort of everybody was down on all year sort of showed up last night. Duke's had their spells this year where they were cold and they just couldn't catch. Carolina's hot and playing good at the right time, and Duke sort of Duke had an easy road, I think, to kind of get to the Final Four also.
Right.
Their bracket wasn't overly difficult.
Yeah.
Carolina definitely had the harder road.
They definitely played, man, so it should be a good one tomorrow, man. If they can stay in the game, man, not get blown out, I think they might get steal it, man, at the end. Yeah, they got guys that shoot them big shots, man. They ready for it, so I think they're ready, man. See if Kansas is ready.
Carolina, the total rebounds. Baycott had 21 by himself, bro. Like,
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, man,
he's good.
They definitely gonna need him, man. So I hope that ankle ain't too crazy, man. They gonna have to wrap it up, ice it, whatever they gonna have to do, get some blood circulating, man. Throw some potatoes, onions, I don't know, something on it, bro. He gonna have to come ready to play tomorrow, bro.
I'll go on record. I'll make my pick, I guess, on record. I'll go with I'm gonna go Kansas 81 and Carolina for the sake of hoping to cover the 4.5. 81-77. I'll go Kansas, and I'll really go cherry on top. I'll go Ochai Agbaji, most outstanding player. Not because I bet him at 23-1 before the tournament.
Sure. That's not why.
But I mean, if he's really, Remy Martin probably would have been a guy I would have had for that. But he only had, I think, 3 points yesterday, so he sort of faded. And McCormick would be the second most likely Kansas most outstanding player. But I think Agbaji and the way he came out hitting those 4 threes yesterday in the Final Four to start. I think he's the prohibitive favorite right now in the betting. But I would say for anybody that does like Carolina to win the game, you still get pretty good value on Caleb Love at 5-1 to win the most outstanding player. But I'm going 81-77, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, and Agbaji most outstanding player.
What you got, Big Will?
Oh man, I mean, I'm all for the theatrics, man. So if I'm gonna take it, you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say North Carolina gonna take this, man. On like a last minute layup at the buzzer type of thing. I'm gonna go 84-83, North Carolina.
And you notice both of us, we want those points. So we got all those players overs. We want points.
Big crazy game tomorrow, man. High scoring stuff, threes, big dunks. We're gonna see it all tomorrow, man.
Let them blow the whistle and add those fouls up. Get to those double bonuses when we need them most.
That's it. Clock stop. Keep shooting.
I like it.
So in terms of scoring, I think I'm in the same space that you guys are. I'm gonna give the edge. I'm gonna give the edge to Kansas. I'm gonna say Kansas I'm gonna say 87, 84. It's gonna come down to free throws, man. It's gonna come down to people making their free throws down the stretch. That last 3 minutes or so. Just like Duke Carolina game, it came down to that. It also came down to Caleb Love, putting daggers.
Oh man, the heartbreak kid.
Oh my gosh! But
it's been a while for. I think he won it when 08 was it, which in Kansas is like, that's like forever ago. For them. And I know a lot of my friends that are Knicks fans. They want Caleb Love on the Knicks.
They ain't gonna help him, man.
They need a lot more than Caleb Love.
Yeah, they just need love, man. That's what they need. They need a whole lot of love.
Got that right.
Yeah, damn Knicks.
It's crazy. That's going to wrap up our show. Thank you so much for listening to Best of 7 Podcast, a part of the Man Cave Sports Network, giving you the 7 best stories in sports and pop culture. Don't forget to click the follow button on Instagram at best_of_7 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Jones. You can follow me at Mizzy_Mike J. Till next time. Yo, Trent. Apple Ciroc, brother. The big bottle.